Hello, friends from Lance. Friday, June 26th, the Brazilian national team is doing right now back there, their first training session in preparation for the game against Japan on Monday, a knockout match. Whoever loses is out. In today's training, just three starters from the Scotland match were on the field at the start. Remember, we only get 15 minutes of access to the sessions. It was Douglas Santos, Vinny Jr., and Rayan. The others stayed in the gym doing that traditional recovery session to manage their workload. Neymar, who came on in the second half, went to the training session. He even joked around with the press, right?
That's true. It was very interesting to see the players arrive for training today. Yeah, they come out of the locker room, they walk by, there's like a fence there separating the press from them. So they walk by there every day, normally daily, with that shy, good morning, guys, have a good day at work. But today was different. It was a total hangout, a get together between journalists and the press, a really interesting conversation that we're going to talk about here. Neymar comes in with his arm around Douglas Santos, and he turns and says out loud like this for everyone to hear, "Hey, the best haircut on the team, right? Douglas Santos has his hair all done up, right? That hair is really, really like a model's, like a Hollywood actor's, right?"
I'm looking sharp. I'm looking sharp.
And then Neymar jokes around, drops this gem like the best hair on the team. And then a journalist shouts, "What's Douglas Santos's secret?" Then Neymar answers, "It's the gel. It's his gel. That's the secret." Then everyone bursts out laughing among the journalists. And if we thought that was enough, no, he joked again. He turns to the press and says, "Hey guys, today is Igor Thiago's birthday. Igor Thiago turns 25 today. So where's the gift? Where's the gift for Igor Thiago?" And then another reporter goes and says to him, "Hey, Neymar, you're the rich one here. You have to give a gift to Igor Thiago." Igor Thiago gets excited in the group and says, "Yes, you owe me the gift." Then there's a general laugh from the journalists, the press, everyone. And then the players go to the center of the field to start that conversation with Ancelotti. But Igor Thiago didn't escape the birthday gauntlet, which Ancelotti has already gone through, and Neymar has too. Everyone celebrating a birthday goes through the national team's birthday gauntlet. They get that slap, there's that joke, that fun thing. The atmosphere here with the national team today during training was really nice. It was great seeing the players coming in and talking. Yeah, you can feel that the weight from that really bad performance against Morocco is gone, but the national team is keeping their feet on the ground, and I think that's really, really cool. Yeah, so after that, Brazil played well against Haiti in the first half. For about 60 minutes, they played really well. Then Haiti put on some pressure. But the Scotland game was well controlled. Brazil controlled the game a lot. Allison did well with three good saves. Some people don't like it when I say this, but it was another World Cup level performance, okay? Three important saves that Allison made, important for maintaining our goal difference and for us to have finished Group C in first place for today. They're training here in New Jersey to keep the original logistics set by the CBF and to face Japan in Houston next Monday.
Yeah, today's training was the first of three training sessions that the Brazilian national team will have before the match against Japan. They'll train again tomorrow, Saturday, also here in Morristown, and in the afternoon they'll travel. It's about a 4 hour trip to Houston. It's not that close. There's another hour of time difference, so compared to Brasilia time, it's 2 hours earlier in Houston. Rafinha, of course, still hasn't trained. He got injured in the game against Scotland and hasn't shown up since then. It's a protocol similar to Neymar's. In the national team, players don't show up when they're undergoing treatment.
So when he appears on the field, that's a positive sign.
Exactly. Rafinha hasn't shown up yet. He's undergoing intensive treatment to try to recover in time for this World Cup. It's a bit closed off here today, right? There's no forecast for rain, but in the United States, not having a forecast for rain doesn't mean that at some point there won't be a heavy downpour. In fact, there was a game interrupted last week for more than an hour, the France game, because of a storm. That's something that shouldn't happen with Brazil's game. Monday's game is at a stadium with a retractable roof.
Air conditioned stadium. The game is at noon here. Daqui,
2 o'clock in the afternoon in Brasilia.
Brasilia time. It's noon and the stadium is closed and air conditioned. Dusan mentioned the weather, so I'll show you. It's cloudy back here. Not sure if you can see it clearly. But in front of us, blue sky, not a single cloud. So that's it. The United States has this ambiguity of rain and sun. Sometimes it's raining on one side and sunny on the other, and we see that beautiful rainbow.
We're about 3 kilometers away. Our hotel here in Morristown is 3 kilometers from the Seleção's training center. It didn't rain there, but when we got here, there were puddles of water. So this happens a lot here in the United States, and it was the same thing in Miami. But anyway, rain or no rain, the Brazilian national team is still training today. They finished today's training, have another session on Saturday morning, and then on Sunday in Houston. Sunday's training will be in Houston at Houston Dynamo.
Dynamo.
Houston Dynamo. Yesterday we incorrectly called it familiarization training. It is not. FIFA still hasn't allowed familiarization training at the match stadiums to preserve the pitch. There are too many games in a row. So there won't be any familiarization training on the pitch in Houston. The national team will have an activity on Sunday at the Houston Dynamo Stadium. I almost said Houston Dynamo.
Dynamo.
I almost said Dynamo Moscow here, yeah.
But Houston Dynamo, you're a little crazy. It's also an important topic for us to talk about. It's a scene that went viral, which was David Ancelotti shaking his head no when Neymar came on.
In the game against Scotland,
In the game against Scotland, we found out here, even before David made an official statement, that David was talking to Ancelotti's other assistant about another subject that had nothing to do with Neymar coming on at that moment. Yeah, we had already found out that information, but Ancelotti's assistant spoke out on social media saying the same thing. He even praised Neymar a lot, talking about Neymar's whole recovery process. So there isn't any denial anyway. Nobody. The atmosphere is really good, even with Neymar being praised by Ancelotti, praised by his teammates for the effort he made to be on the field. So actually, I think what exists here is there isn't that obligation for Neymar to be a starter, and he understands that. Okay, perfectly. He knows he's just one piece. He even said that in the mixed zone. Everything depends on Ancelotti, how long he'll use him or if he won't use him. I think Ancelotti has found his team. Neymar will be used in this team. And if there's a need, if something happens, some eventuality, Neymar could end up being a starter. But if it happens, it will be something natural. Without forcing it just because Neymar is Neymar. It will be something natural. With Neymar playing really well, being physically fit, and ready to play longer for the national team,
about that, and to wrap up, there was some concern and debate at some point, like if Neymar gets called up, will he calmly accept being on the bench? Because Neymar has been one of the best players in the world over the last decade and a half. Obviously, he has always been a starter for the national team and for the clubs he played for. But here, he's pretty calm in quotes on the bench. At no time does he mind training with the reserves. So he's really happy today. He seems really comfortable when he's on the bench during games. So Neymar is really here in what should be his last World Cup, feeling comfortable both on and off the field.
yeah, he knows he's a very important player. That if he's in excellent shape, he'll play, he'll come in, he'll have his moments. Yeah, but if I were a soccer player, I would want to be here in 526 to be a world champion. It doesn't matter if I'm going to play 10, 15, 20, and it's Neymar. Neymar will have the title. Of course, I'm not going to compare Neymar with Pelé. Pelé is a three-time world champion, but in 58, he wasn't a starter at the beginning, you know? He became a starter during the tournament. In 62, he got injured in the first game. Garincha was the big name of that World Cup. He's a two-time world champion. In 70, Pelé was Pelé. Were three-time world champions. No one would deny Pelé was a champion in 62. If Neymar wins the World Cup, he's a champion too. He contributed, like when he played against Scotland. I don't know if he'll score against Japan or whoever comes next. I hope he makes the difference against Argentina in the semi-final. That's my expectation, but let's move on. Brazil is still here. The training session should be finishing up by now. Just a reminder that Rayan will be speaking at the press conference soon here in Morriston, New Jersey.
Our next joint update will be from Houston.
That's it. Duzan might suddenly make a joke over there in Houston. I'll provide some information here from New Jersey. But we'll only be together there in Houston next Saturday. Duzan is traveling to Houston today. He'll bring some updates on what the stadium is like and what the city is like. And I'll stay here with the team, which still has one more activity here in New Jersey.
You know, the World Cup is right here on Lance.